Welcome back, YouTube. How you doing? We're gonna do rear struts on a 2002 Camry. It's a little different than most of the other cars I've showed on my channel, and I'm gonna go step by step and show you how to do it. Here's the part number for the passenger rear. And here's the part number for the driver rear. First thing we're gonna want to do is pull out the back seat cushion. Now you got two clips, one here, one over there, and those have these inside of it. So you pretty much, you got to pull pretty hard on this to make it pop out, but it'll pop out. Just pull straight up. Now we got to remove these side cushions on both sides. To do that, you go down to the bottom, and that should be a 12 millimeter. So just take an extension and take this bolt out right here on both sides. Once you take the bolt out, it sort of slides up and then it comes out. And then now you can get to the strut mount bolts right there. Take your 12 millimeter short socket, and I took off the stud and the one in the far back, and I left this close one out so I can use a 12 ratchety wrench after I get the bottom tore apart. Jack the car up, take the wheel off, obviously, so you can get in here. 12 millimeter ratchet will take off the brake line bolt so we can pull this away from the strut. 10 millimeter socket, and take off the sensor bracket that holds the ABS sensor. For these big two bolts now, we're gonna just loosen it and then we'll take off the tie rod end, but it's a 19 millimeter on both sides. This one's a 14. I just broke it loose with my impact. Then now this is a smaller Allen, it's a 5 millimeter. So the 5 millimeter goes in the center, then use your wrench to take the nut off and then slide it off. Once you get the bolts out, shake this thing loose so that that's not connected anymore. For the back ones though, to be safe, just do a two-person job. Have one person hold it here while one person undoes the nut in the back seat. That way this thing doesn't fall and rip either your sensor or your brake line. Alright, so here is the rear driver strut. For that, you're going to have the two welded nuts on the left, sway bar linkage on the right, and you're going to have this facing forward. You're going to reuse the nuts from your factory one, and then have your buddy, when you feed this up, have your buddy go and start the nuts on top, and then line up the bottom with the spindle, and then we'll go on from there. Once you get the bolts in, which is a little difficult for me on this side, I had to jack up this spindle. I sort of put the bottom one in from this side halfway, then I got the top locked in, and then I pulled the bottom one out and it slipped in the bottom easy. Because when you let the pressure go, this thing wants to flop this way. So yeah, just take your time, try not to get pissed off. Then you're gonna start all these bolts and nuts on this side. So that's your 10 millimeter here, and then these 18s, get these put back on, and then we'll put the brake on after that. Like I did in the other videos, always just double check everything that's tight. You want to check these two tiny ones, you're going to check the sway bar link, and then the two large ones, make sure everything's still tight. And now we're going to go tighten the tops. Use your 12 millimeter socket, tighten these, and now we're going to slide back on this leather part. So just pull the seatbelt out of the way, and so you're going to start it high. Right here's the groove. The plastic slides into here, and then the hole down here will line up, and then you can put this back in. Once you got this back on, Just toss your wheel back on, lower this side of the car, and then copy the same thing on the other side. So till next time guys, wrench on.